Alright.
Okay. So, I have the airplane for this first one.
Alright, your airplane?
My plane, and I typically start with the falling leaf. You know, so I'll slow it down, put it in a slow flight, and then I will hold that stick in my gut. So we'll just pick up a heading north here. And of course I can't, you don't have to shift or anything, I can't see the ball, I'm just feeling it out here, but the point is it's going to spin eventually.
Right.
Alright, so check out the roots of those wings right before we stall, and you'll see that
okay.
Should be a little bit of a ripple in there. So here we are, falling leaf, trying to keep this thing from spinning, but it's going to oscillate up and down. You see how it recovered itself?
Yeah.
And it's going to gain airspeed, and yeah, we'll just let her go.
Wait.
So there's one. We basically did 1 1/4 turns on that one. Alright, yeah, just a recovery. Of course, it all happened kind of fast. But you notice I already had idle power.
Right.
And the other thing that you can do to recover from a spin a little faster is instead of wait until you've stopped the rotation to add that forward pressure in the elevator, add it in as you're adding that opposite rudder. You can actually recover from the spin quite a bit faster than normal. Alright, so your airplane, I don't need to fly this right now. I already did my spin for the day. Your plane?
Alright, my plane?
Your plane.
Alright.
Yeah, we'll turn back to the west here. And then what you can do is once you hit 9 grand, you can do the same thing that I basically just did. So you can slow it down, put it into that falling leaf, and all you're going to try to do is maintain that directional control with the rudders. You know, just hold the stick in your gut, maintain directional control with the rudders. Now if it drops off into a spin, kick opposite rudder, and then release the back pressure from the stick. Because a lot of times, you know, if you entered it yourself just like that, that's why you're stalled in the first place. You have back pressure in there, so just let the back pressure out.
Okay.
The airplane should recover itself.
Heat 000 Alpha is turning north about 1 mile east of Panama at 75 northbound.
And then whichever acronym works better for you, or whichever, I forget what they call it now, you know, your little...
Memrick?
Yeah, Memrick, thank you. Whether it's idleize, neutralize, kick, push, and pull, or whichever one you use that I forgot already.
Clear traffic,
Pairs,
He's on the west shore of Panama.
I like yours better because I always think of how you spell the through. And then it screws me up.
Exactly. That's when I heard it, I was like, huh, I haven't heard that for a long time. That's probably why I completely forgot.
Alright, so power to idle.
Yep.
And
then just maintain that altitude until it stalls, and then just, once the stick is fully in your gut, just hold it there and try to maintain directional control with the rudders only on the way down.
Okay.
There you go. Almost. And it's going to recover. See how it recovered itself from the spin right there? Alright, so now this time, we'll turn to the south. We'll kind of get away from the town here and get back over the fields. So it recovered itself. I mean, you had that opposite rudder in there, and then it just kind of flew itself out of there. So that's the incipient phase that you're playing around with when you do the falling leaf like that.
Right.
So for this next one, I want you to actually let it fall off into a spin. You can pick whichever direction you want, right or left. And then just standard recovery.
Okay.
So idleize, and you should already be at idle. You know, you can do a power on spin if you want, but idleize, neutralize ailerons, opposite rudder, and while you're adding opposite rudder, just release the back pressure in the stick, and it should fly itself out right away.
Alright, sounds good. And do you want it just incipient or go full develop?
That is entirely up to you, whether you want to, I mean, incipient is basically, if you do 1 turn, you're still in the incipient phase. If you want to go fully developed, you can let it go 2 turns, 2.5 turns, usually it should be fully developed.
Okay.
It's entirely up to you. Normally, you know, if you really want to, you can go 2, 3 turns, using my own Citabria when I'm spinning it all day long, I'll just do 1.5 to 2 turns and call it good.
Okay. I want to kind of see what the full one looks like.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay. I'll go to the right. There it is.
Alright. Aileron's neutral. Power dial. Color. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Back on the stick, not forward. Alright. Little softer on the power application, but otherwise, yeah, you caught yourself. Yeah, you already recovered. The rotation had stopped. And look at the G meter. You never pulled more than 3 on that entire recovery.
Right.
Okay. Now for these next couple, I will demonstrate one to you. The entry, like let's say you're going to cheat on the final.
Okay.
So I've got the airplane.
Your controls?
My controls. And what I'm going to do, we're going to treat final as basically flying back out to the east.
Okay.
So this is our downwind leg, and we're going to treat this like we're actually about to land the plane.
Alright.
But I am going to gain a little altitude while doing it, because otherwise it's, I mean, you can get away with 8 grand like we have, or, well, 87. But we'll just get her a little slower and expedite the entry into the spin. Alright, so we're going to reduce the power to about, we'll make it 1700. It really doesn't make too much of a difference. So we're going to turn our base leg here. And we're going to do this at 60 just so it happens a little faster. So here comes our base leg, and again, this is not going to be 100% totally accurate. We might wind up turning onto like more of another crosswind leg to show you how this happens, but it'll drop right into a spin to the left without you even thinking about it.
Okay.
Alright, so we're turning our final, and oh man, we cheated. So here we go. Or we overshot it. So I'm going to add a little bit of left rudder. Well, left rudder, see how the wing wants to drop? So right aileron, and our airspeed is decreasing. So I'm adding, now we're going to start this all over again. That didn't work like I wanted it to. Because I don't know, the power came back in. Alright, cheating. We add left rudder. And see how this is automatically, look at the airspeed right now.
Yep.
Bam.
Okay.
There's our spin. And it just dropped right into it. You didn't even see it coming.
Right.
So that's the entry, that's the one you really have to look out for when it comes to a new student, is that cheating on final like that. And now the next one I'm going to show you, we'll get back up to 85. And I'm going to have you do all of these after the fact. We'll climb back to 85, and then I'll show you that go-around stall spin situation that you can wind up in. And then the see the moose is a lot like cheating on final, so that one is, your power's in, you got it banked, you're not paying attention inside the airplane, and you just put it into an accelerated stall spin situation. It starts out, you can't really call it a snap roll, because it isn't. But accelerated stall with bad coordination technique, eventually spin. But the two that I emphasize the most, that was the number one that I emphasize the most, the one we just did, that trying to cheat yourself on a final.
Right.
And you saw how it is no warning whatsoever. You just spun it.
Right.
And so that's the one that scares the shit out of me. Just when whenever it's a new student, so you're going to be vigilant as all hell when it comes to keeping an eye on these students flying traffic patterns. I'll just kind of steer away from Boulder here. Now for this one, this is going to be a power on spin.
Okay.
And I'm not going to add full power, because otherwise if it's anything like the Beaver, you'll just gain altitude forever and it won't actually spin you when you want it to.
Okay.
Okay. So for this one, I'm not actually going to trim it either because I have to use my foot to trim this airplane.
Okay.
So I'm basically just going to hold my altitude with the stick and then not move the stick at all when I add power. So we're going to put it into a descent like we're flaring on final.
Okay.
We're going to slow her down. It's basically going to be more or less idle power here. And then just whatever's going to maintain our altitude like we're flaring it. So here we are at 60, we're about to touch down. I'm not going to pull the stick or move it forward at all. If I say go around, you add power. I haven't moved the stick an inch.
Right.
And there it is.
Okay.
So there's your other stall spin situation you can run into. So I didn't pitch the nose up any more than, or I didn't use elevator at all for that pitch up moment. That's basically just holding the stick completely rigid in one spot. All right, your airplane.
All right, my airplane.
Your plane.
All right.
Okay, so I will have you, you can make your way back up to $9 grand.
Okay.
And then I'll have you do the cheating on the final. So, and I can have you do the other one as well. You know, that power on situation that I just put ourselves into.
All right.
And once you're approaching $9 grand, you can put yourself in a slow flight, and then as you're making that turn, that 90-degree turn onto whatever heading you pick, you can go right or left.
Okay.
Add rudder, and then try to maintain that picture out the front window. Try to maintain your bank angle and your pitch attitude with the stick only.
Okay.
And what you'll notice, just like when I did it, you'll notice yourself slowly pushing more left rudder and slowly adding more elevator and more opposite aileron. And your airspeed's going to bleed off like you can't believe. And it should drop into that spin with no warning whatsoever.
All right.
I'm pretty happy about when I entered it, because normally I can't, it doesn't enter it that well for me. And I wind up just like turning well beyond where final actually was.
Okay.
All right.
Air traffic, Airway 002 Alpha is about 1 mile north of Panama 6600, climbing 475 eastbound.
Okay. So do power idle for this one?
Yeah, because your downwind base final is, or base final turn is what this is basically going to happen on. So you're more or less at idle power anyway.
Okay.
All right, so just put in a slight bank, like 20 degrees or so.
All right.
And start turning to that final. And right now, just add that left rudder.
Okay.
So the left wing starts to drop.
And
so correct for that picture. And just continue to correct for it. Oh, it didn't do it for you? This is what happens to me all the time.
Yeah, we just
so
have a falling leaf.
Yeah, you're falling leaf. So you try one more time. That's all right.
All right.
You can use 85, so we'll just try one more time at 8,500 feet here.
All right.
All right.
All right, left.
So bank left, 20 degrees or so.
All right.
And now cheat with rudder. And now try to correct for that picture you see outside the window. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Come on. You did this so well. Literally like 5 minutes ago. You actually... All right.
All right, one more?
Yeah, try one more time.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you have the entry going, and it just doesn't want to spin.
All right.
Try 30 degrees of bank.
Okay.
There we go.
There's 30-ish. Left rudder. All the way back. There we go.
Yep, there's your spin.
Power to idle, aileron's neutral, rudder opposite direction.
Nice recovery. There you go. And that's the point. You know, back in the old days, they used to go for accuracy on recovery, as in recover exactly on this heading. So you do like 2 full turns and you recover on, you know, if you entered on west, you'd exit. So you can do that same kind of deal, slower down, because we're above 8,000 now, so you can get away with this one, no problem. So level it off.
Okay, so 8-2.
Yep. And you're basically going to enter slow flight. This is basically a departure stall, but what you're doing is you're going to leave your feet off the rudder pedals.
Okay.
Until the recovery phase.
All right.
And it should just enter the spin all by itself. So pitching back. Once you get below 55, hold the stick in one spot and now slowly add power to full.
Okay.
Just keep the stick in one place and just hold it there. Hold it. And we'll see what this naturally wants to do all by itself.
Okay.
A spin to the right? Really? What are you doing up there? All right, you can go back.
That wasn't much of a spin, but...
No, it wasn't. All right, well, we'll turn back to the west here and try again.
Yeah. We only lost like 100 feet.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a spin, so try pitching up just a little bit more. Just give it a little help on this one.
All right, you good?
Yep, I'm good.
All right.
It's really weird. This airplane really likes to go to the right for you. Okay, there it is. Now, slowly add power to full. Yeah, it was a little... There it is.
Holy...
All right, idleize, neutralize, kick, push, and pull. And there you go. You had one full turn. And that's exactly, easy on the putting the power back in.
All right.
I'm so used to flying radial engines where you have to be really, really ginger. Because if you threw the power in that fast on a Beaver, it would sound like somebody fired a shotgun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'd backfire on you. But you're fine. These engines are better about it than radials, but the force of habit.
Right. Okay.
All right. Any, you want to do any more? It's up to you. This is playtime.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess let's just do, let's see, I'm trying to think of everything. I'm trying to think of what the commercial PTS has. I know there's secondary stalls, but that's...
Oh yeah, well, you can do that one too. So this time, I want you to, when you enter that incipient to the left, I want you to, and we'll do this power off.
Okay.
So the secondary is on the first recovery. Basically, what you're doing, you're pulling out of the dive too fast. But this airplane had regained its altitude, regained that angle of attack so quickly. Your secondary stall is basically an accelerated stall.
Okay.
And you can enter a spin that way, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to have you do one turn to the left, and then without forward on the stick, without actually recovering from that stall, I'm going to have you step on the right rudder pedal until it stops spinning to the left, and then enter a spin to the right, and then recover.
All right.
So one turn to the left, step on the right pedal, one turn to the right, and then recover like normal.
Okay.
And we'll do this power off.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so just do a regular power off stall.
Yeah, power off entry, one turn to the left, and then this time I want you to hold the stick back on that recovery from the left, and then just add right rudder until it stops, and it should just re-enter.
All right.
Okay, so here we go, and add right rudder.
All righty.
Okay. Now it should enter a spin to the right if you don't ever recover from it. There we go. Now left rudder and recover. There you go. So that's your secondary entry.
Okay.
Because what happened is you never, basically it'd be, I tried to recover from the spin, but I never added up elevator or nose down.
Okay.
To recover my, to make my wing go flying again.
All right.
So then you enter it into a spin in the opposite direction.
Okay.
About 2,200 RPMs, and yeah, this one is so hard to demonstrate because it's basically a standard entry from a banked position. And if I can do it right, then I'll have you try one. But if not, you know, I'll give it a try 2 times.
All right.
This is my least favorite entry because you have to not be paying attention, and you can't just you can't force yourself to not pay attention.
Right.
If you know it's coming. It's just, I don't know, it's a psychological thing.
Right.
But in reality, it just turns into a standard entry. So this is maneuvering around, and once we're back over the field, you know, so we're going to turn and, like those 2 little tanks down there. You know, I'm on the left side at 9 o'clock, those 2 little tanks in the middle of the field. So we're turning around it, and I'm not really paying too much attention to what's happening outside the airplane, and we're trying to keep it in the window, just doing things, and it wants to torque over to the right somehow. So that's your moose stall. And I don't know why I said torque over to the right, because that's not torque that was doing that. This airplane just kind of favors that spin to the right. Like I said, they spin better to the right than they do to the left, and it's the weirdest thing. All right, your airplane.
My airplane.
You can give that a try, so just put yourself in a turn.
Okay.
And don't do anything with the rudders. Just kind of have your feet lightly touching the rudder pedals, but don't actually use them for anything.
Okay.
You want to be looking out the side of the airplane when you do this, because if you're looking out the side, that means you're literally not paying attention to anything inside.
Okay. All right, so now I just...
Yeah, so put yourself in about a 45-degree bank.
Okay.
And just try to turn around something and keep pitching back, not paying attention at all. There it is. There's your spin entry to the right. And you recover first indication that you have. You don't have to go into a turn, but there you go. That's all there is to it.
All right.
All right. What do you think? We've covered pretty much everything.
Aero 800 Juliet Alpha's over Panama, southbound emergency descent from 75.
All right. Well, you want to do a victory roll?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Then we'll gain a little more altitude. We'll go back to 8 for this.
Okay.
All right. You see anybody down there?
I don't.
Okay. And I haven't done one of these in a while, so if we don't recover on exactly east heading. All right, here we go. Pitching down. We're going to look for 130, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. There's 130. Pitch the nose up 30 degrees. And over we go. There's your roll. I'll do another one to the right. Pitching down, 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 down. There we go. Up 30 degrees. There it is.
That was cool. You mind if I try one?
Yeah, you can try. All right, so you can leave about 2,400 RPMs.
24, okay. That's right there.
And I'll let it accelerate a little bit.
All right.
So pitch down, you're looking for 130, and then I want you to, you're going to be looking out the sides when you do this, because you want to hit that 30 degrees of pitch up.
Okay.
Okay? So wait for it, you're at 120, there's 125, and at 130, look out the side, pitch up to 30 degrees.
Okay.
There it is, 30, now full left aileron.
All right.
All right, over,